Hey everyone, it's Sogami here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little different than what I usually do. Now, if you watched my channel before, you know that I usually dabble in ranking content, as shown in literally every single one of my videos besides like 2. But today, since Wild from KATSEYE just released, I did want to give my first thoughts and impressions on the EP and just talk about how I feel about every single song, including Unloveu. At the end, there is going to be like a small little ranking, but this video is nowhere set in stone. It is completely my opinion, and my opinion only after listening to these songs a couple times, which actually happened on the CD that I purchased. Look at her. It's so fancy. I love it so much, and Laura is my bias, if you couldn't tell. That's the reason that I got the Laura version, and it's so cute. Like, that's just one of the many pages of hers, as well as some photo cards and a poster. And since I got it from Target, it has the unloveu on it, and that's the whole reason that I honestly bought this. But this is the first EP that I've been an icon for, and I'm so excited to share my opinions with you. So let's get into track number 1 on this album, which is Pinky Up. So track number 1 of this EP is Pinky Up. Of course, this came out a long time ago, I think around 4 or 5 months ago. Honestly, at first, I wasn't the biggest fan. I didn't really get it at first, I didn't vibe with it, but as time has gone on and I've continued listening to it, I think it has become one of my favorite KATSEYE songs, up there with MIA and Gnarly. This song is just another fun clubbing song that I really like. At the end of each of these segments, I am going to be giving like a number out of 10 based on my first reaction, and a number out of 10 based on how I feel about it as I'm recording this video. So the number out of 10 for my first reaction would be about a 4 out of 10. I think at first I truly thought like, oh, this is KATSEYE's first miss. As you've all heard if you've watched my past videos, which you should, I do go more into depth about how I feel about these songs, although it was a long time ago, and maybe I'll do a part 2 to it someday that includes all of these new songs. But going back to the task at hand, at first I truly thought this was KATSEYE's first flop. I didn't really have a ton of fun with it, I was confused, and then as I started listening to it more, and of course as the choreography came out, and as we saw them performing it more, I really like it. So as of now, I would give it a 9 out of 10. Not a perfect KATSEYE song, but still really up there. So now let's go into track number 2. You move like an animal. Track number 2 on Wild is Animal. This came out about a month before Wild actually released, and I will say at first I did have fun with it. It feels like a generic pop song. Personally, me, I really enjoy when KATSEYE goes to the more techno-pop, like hyper-pop clubbing music. I really enjoy when they do that type of style. And so the more like poppy, generic stuff, it doesn't stand out to me as much, but I did still really enjoy the song at first. And of course, like, it was fun. I liked the music video. They all did so well. It looks so good. I will say my initial ranking of this one was about a 7 out of 10, which is still really good, still above average. But I would say now it's at an 8 out of 10. I do think it's good. Of course, we've only had this song for about a month, so there's not too much change compared to back then and to now, but I will just say I think it's good, and I think it's fun, and I enjoy watching them perform it. Especially with how the choreography came out not too long ago, I think that did bump it up for me. Well, now let's go on to track number 3 and the first Wild exclusive track. Track number 3 on Wild is Hootie Frutti. Now, I've heard so much negative stuff around this song, and I will say, I don't agree with it. I really enjoy this song. I enjoyed it on first listen. I enjoy it still now a couple days later. No matter what people say about that MV being too sexy, they are grown ass adults. They can dress however they want. They can do whatever they want with their bodies. They can choose whatever they fucking want to do. And they chose that. These girls wouldn't have done it if they weren't comfortable with it. Like, that's just the truth. And also, parents, please, KATSEYE is not for your children. Like, we've been known since like Gnarly that it wasn't for children. Stop taking your kids to see KATSEYE. Literally, the EP I'm holding in my hand has a parental advisory warning. Like, these aren't for kids. Please just take that into account before you start getting mad and commenting all this shit about how Hootie Frutti isn't a good song and it's too sexed up, because these girls are grown-ass adults and they can do whatever they want. Now, for my initial ranking out of 10, I would give it a 7 out of 10, but as of a couple days later, I've listened to it a couple times, I would say I've bumped it up to like an 8. I think it's really fun, and I could see myself in a club just getting absolutely down to this. Now let's go on to track number 4.
I drive you up to Bel Air.
Track number 4 is Bel Air. Personally for me, as I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of when KATSEYE goes the really poppy route, and I think this is what that feels like. I don't think it's bad, I just think it's pretty mid. Like, again, even with Wild, I don't think there is a single bad KATSEYE song, and you can come for me. That's just my opinion, and you can have your own. And we can just exist online, because you don't need to comment on things you don't agree with, and you don't have to waste your time and energy on that. For Bel Air, I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think it's good. I think it shows off the girl's vocals well, and I still think it's a good song. I think it's more in the vein of like Tonight I Might and I'm Pretty from SAS, where they kind of get lost in the shuffle. Where like so many good KATSEYE songs exist, that it's like, oh, like, yeah, these are good, but I don't enjoy them as much as, like, my favorites, you know? Like, they're not the Gabriellas, they're not the Game Boys, they're not the My Ways, they're not the Pinky Ups, they're not the ones that are gonna stick out to you and get, like, the most streams of any KATSEYE song. So for my initial ranking, I gave this about a 6, and as of now, a couple days later, I think it's around, like, a 6.5 to a 7. I think I'm like right in the middle of those two, so probably like a 6.75 if I want to be technical about it. I think it's good. I think it's above average. I just think it's not much more than that. So now let's go on to track 5. Track 5 and the final track on the streaming versions and the usual versions of Wild is That Way. Now, I do really like this song. I think it's fun. I do think it's more in the vein of like Bel Air, where it's not going to pop out to you as much, but I still do think it's really fun. I've yet to actually watch like their performance of it because I was avoiding spoilers until I got the EP delivered to me, and it came on release day luckily, so I didn't have to wait too long and avoid social media for too long, but I will definitely go and watch it after I make this video. And again, like I said at the beginning, these rankings aren't set in stone. My opinion is going to change. They could get lower, they could get higher, they could be completely different the next time I decide to talk about this if I do. And that's just how fleeting opinions are. But for That Way, I think it's really fun. I think it is a more generic poppy song, but I do think it's really fun. It also shows off the girl's vocals well, like Bel Air did. I just think, again, it's in the vein of like Bel Air and Tonight I Might and I'm Pretty, where it's like, yeah, it's fun, it's pretty good, but you're not going to see it on anyone's like top of the favorites list unless they're just being all niche. Now for my initial ranking, I would say this one got a 7, and I would say it's still at a 7. I think it's good, I think it's fun, I really like the chorus, but there's just not too much more to it. And now onto the secret 6th track, if you pre-ordered it at Target. The 6th track on Wild is Unloveu, and I think this is really, 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 really good. This is the whole reason that I actually like got the EP physically, and I even like bought a CD player for this because I really wanted to listen to Unloveu, and I do think it lives up to the hype. I think it's really good. Like the one complaint I could give about it is like I'm not so sure about the voice that goes Unloveu the whole time, but I think that's more of just like a producing thing that like who cares? But I still do think it's really good. It's not my favorite track on Wild, and not my favorite track released just for Wild, but I do still think it's really good. And Hybex Geffen, I am begging you, please put Unloveu on streaming. Please, the people are begging for it. I don't know why you didn't. Like the executive is watching this, like, please, if you are watching this, please put this on streaming, because I need to have it in every playlist. But for my initial ranking of the song, I think it would be about a 7.5, but as of now, I think it would be around an 8, just because I've listened to it more, and I think it's probably on like the same level as Animal. Let's go on to the outro / my final ranking of each of these songs. So for my final outro for this, I decided to do a little mini ranking of every track on Wild, just because although I did want to give my thoughts more in depth than I usually do for a ranking video, I also did just want to rank them just for fun, and this is like a small little mini ranking, and I wanted to go in it in a different way than I usually do. But here's the final list. In 6th place, you have Bel Air, just because it doesn't stand out to me too much. I just don't have too much to say about it, but it is still good. In 5th place is That Way, just because, again, not too much stands out to me, although it is still really good. 4th place is Unloveu, which is, again, really, 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 really good, and please let these girls produce again. write and produce again. And in third place is Animal because again, it's sure it's a generic poppy song, but I still really enjoy those, even if they're not my favorite. And second is Hootie Frutti because again, I am a huge fan of the KATSEYE clubbing, the clubbing music that they do, and I can't wait to hear that song in a club. And also, I just know in like 2 weeks, people are going to be switching up about that song and acting like they never hated on it because I see all those comments online. I see all those hates. And you will not fool me once this song charts and you're like, oh, I never hated that song. Like, no. That's my number 2. And of course, at number 1 is Pinky Up. Just because it's really good. I love the choreography. I love everything about it. Although I get if you have a different ranking. So maybe if you listen to all the tracks, put your own ranking in the comments below. I just want to thank you so much for watching, and also thank you all so much for making my last video blow up. It's done so well in the very short amount of time that it's been out, and I didn't expect it to do that well because it seemed like a more niche topic, but it did really, really well. And I am just so happy to see it, and I will hopefully be uploading more often. I know this is on a day I don't usually upload, but I just really wanted to get this out as soon as possible. And of course, I've, had to edit this and record it throughout the weekend because I wanted to listen to the tracks a couple times before having the video out. But here's the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!